Hi guys, welcome to Train Forever. I'm Andrew Barr, and today we're talking about the differences between the Kettlebell Snatch and the Dumbbell Snatch. One is not better than the other. They are both great variations of an excellent exercise. All else equal, the best thing to do is to learn and develop skill and strength in each movement, and then use them at different points in your training program to get the benefits of each movement. But there are some important differences between the two, and understanding these differences can help us make an informed choice about when we might use each variation for maximum benefit. The kettlebell snatch is a bit more technical, and that is in large part because the bell has to travel around the hand to end up on the back of the forearm. To do this well requires a dynamic adjustment in grip, and oftentimes when this is a new movement and we're still learning it, it can result in some unpleasant whacks on the forearm. A wristband or sweatband can help mitigate this, but eventually you would want to get to the point where that is not required because you're able to do it smoothly and fluidly. In contrast, in the dumbbell snatch, we don't need to be worried about the weight traveling around the hand because we simply hold on to it the whole time. This makes it a little bit more simple and easier to learn, and perhaps a better choice for beginners or when unilateral snatches are first being introduced. If you're finding this content useful and informative, go ahead and hit that like button and make sure you subscribe so you never miss another training tip. I'll be putting out a new video each week to help you get the most out of your training sessions. Thanks so much. I really appreciate your support. Perhaps the most significant difference between the two movements is the path that the weight follows from the bottom position to the top position. The kettlebell follows an anterior to posterior or a front to back pathway, almost like drawing a half circle. In contrast, the dumbbell travels almost purely vertical, straight up and down. Since the kettlebell moves forwards and then backwards, the shoulder has to work very hard to stabilize the weight as it comes into that lockout position, and the trunk has to assist in this too. As a result, the kettlebell snatch is a great exercise for developing shoulder stability and trunk stability. The dumbbell snatch does not provide these same benefits because the weight travels purely vertically. However, that does make the dumbbell snatch a better choice for developing absolute lower body power. When doing a dumbbell snatch, the feet can stay firmly planted on the ground, but it's more common, and I would argue beneficial, to use a jump. In contrast, with the kettlebell snatch, the feet stay firmly planted on the ground. This has to do, once again, with the trajectory of the bell, that anterior to posterior or half circle pathway. It would be very difficult to stabilize in that lockout position if at some point throughout the movement your feet left the ground. So for that reason, in the kettlebell snatch, the feet stay planted. Leave a comment and let me know if you agree or disagree, or if you have your own perspective on the differences and benefits of these two movements. I'd love to hear from you, or if you just have a question about training. I'll answer every one. In part because of the use of the jump, the dumbbell snatch tends to be the right choice when working with athletic populations like team sport athletes, or really any athlete who is using the weight room to develop their power capability for expression in the context of their sport. Because of the jump and because we tend to be able to produce more lower body power with the dumbbell variation, that makes it the right choice for athletes where power development is almost always a central focus of the training program. It's also worth noting that most gyms have heavier dumbbells than they do kettlebells. So if you're using the one-arm snatch variation to develop your absolute power capability, doing sets of 1 to 5 reps, that working with a dumbbell will probably give you more room to progress with respect to the amount of weight lifted. In contrast, the kettlebell variation is a great way for developing power endurance, where you produce a powerful movement many times in a row. It's not uncommon to see workouts that involve 100 kettlebell snatches in a row. If you're new to the movement, don't even consider it, but that is something that a lot of people work towards when developing skill and strength in the kettlebell snatch. The kettlebell variation just lends itself to finding rhythm in the movement, and if our objective is to do many reps in a row, the kettlebell variation tends to be more manageable than the dumbbell variation at an equivalent load. You really can't say that one variation is better than the other. They're both great exercises, and they provide unique benefits. The dumbbell snatch is a little bit easier to learn and probably the right choice for athletes. The kettlebell snatch provides unique benefits to shoulder and trunk stability and is great for developing the skill of power endurance. Different people will get more benefit out of one variation or the other, but all else equal, your best bet is to learn and train both movements and to use one or the other at different times in the broader context of your training program, depending on your goals. I hope you thought today's video was useful, and if you did, please give me a like and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss another training tip. I'll be putting out a new video each week to help you get the most out of your training sessions. If you head to the description, you can find my free guide to building core strength, and you can find Strength Training Essentials, my 12-week program specifically for beginners, and you can find information about my online coaching too. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week.